All right, this is still chapter 3-3, equations in y equals mx form. What we're going to do is an example um, of direct variation. All right, I'm going to do one example of those. So it's not that difficult, but there's a few steps in there that I want you to be aware of. So let's get right into it. Look at what the question says. It says a 3-year-old dog is often considered to be 21 in human years. Assume that the equivalent age in human years, y, varies directly with its age as a dog, x. Write and solve a direct variation equation to find the human year age of a dog that is 6 years old. So there's a lot involved in there. The first thing I want you to see is that some of you that have a dog, you know that if your dog is 3 years old, if you've had it for 3 years, in human years, it's really 21. They age so much faster, in dog years. So that's why dogs don't always live a very long time. But there is an equation that goes along with this this fact. So what we want to do is look at what it says next. It says assume that the equivalent age in a dog in human years, and then they have the variable y right here to let you know the human years is going to be the y variable, and it varies directly with the age of the dog, x. So it's telling you which one's y and which one's x. All right. So varies directly with means there is a relationship between the age of a dog and human years. There is a direct relationship, okay, or correlation between the two. So we want to find an equation to find out the human year age of a dog that's 6 or the human year of a dog that's 8. How many human years would a dog be if the dog is 10? All right, so we can find that out with this equation. So the first thing I want you to write is this. The equation, which we have up here, y equals mx form. So we write that first, y equals mx. Then we look at our paragraph again, and they told us that the human years is y. They told us right here. And the dog years is x. Why is that important? Because they said up here, a 3-year-old dog is considered to be 21 in human years. So what I want us to do is replace the letter y, the human years y, with 21, and the dog years with x, which is 3. All right, there it is. The 3-year-old dog is the x equivalent. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work this out to find out the rate of change or the constant rate or the slope. In other words, that's what it is. But we're going to call it the constant rate. So let's work this out. How do we get that? Simple. We're going to solve for the variable m. So we're going to divide both numbers by 3 because I know that these two will cancel. And whatever we do to one side, we do to the other. And what do we have? What is 21 divided by 3? 7. All right. 7 is the number for our constant rate. That means to get from 3 to this 21, the factor that we need is 7. So 3 times 7 is 21. All right. So what I want us to do is rewrite this as y, instead of writing y equals mx like we had up here, I want us to replace the m with 7. Y equals 7x. This is the direct variation equation. Okay, that's the first part of our answer. What does this equation mean? It simply means now that we know that the m part of the equation is 7, we can plug in any number for the age of a dog and get the human years. We can use any number we like. So now let's look at what they want to know. They said right here, they said write and solve a direct variation equation, which we did, y equals 7x, to find the human year age of a dog that's 6. So I'm going to take this 6 right here, and plug it in right here where the x is. All right, so let's do that. So we have y equals 7x, right? Now we're going to plug in y equals 7 times 6 and work that out and get y equals 42. All right. So what does this mean? This means when a dog is 6 years old, it is actually 42 in human years. That dog is getting up in age. That means for each year that it is alive, it will have the issues of a 42-year-old human. Okay? Or the health of a 42-year-old human. Okay? So many of you that have a dog that's 10 years old, we can plug that in now. If we have a dog that's 10 years old and we use this formula, watch what happens. We're going to plug in 10 right here. So that means how old is this dog in human years? It will be equivalent to a 70-year-old person. That means the dog's expectancy has dramatically been, life expectancy has been reduced because the dog is almost at the end of its life because it's already 70 years old in human years, although it's only 10. Okay, that's why they don't really live too much past 10, 11, 12 years because they just get up in age. And they really start getting older. They start slowing down. Some of you that have dogs, you know what I'm talking about. So this is what you need to know in this question. What is the direct variation equation? Right here. Y equals 7x. What is the human year of a dog that's 6 years old? Right here. 70 years old in human years. All right, very good.